Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in another episode of the Quran Basics in English for Beginners. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Surah 31, Prophet Luqman the Wise, chapter number 30 out of 34 verse. Start again. Chapter 31, verse 10 out of 34 verses. Who is He? It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the supreme creator of the heavens and the earth. There is only one God, la ilaha illallah. Right? Never forget that. So He created the heavens without any pillars that you can see. He set on the earth mountains, standing firm, lest it should shake with you. And He scattered through it beasts of all kinds. We send down the rain from the sky and produce on the earth every kind of noble creature in pairs. Some important points to note here. Firstly, the universe did not come by itself. Secondly, the universe has not been existing forever. This is a baffling point that has been confusing astronomers. Some are pondering, is it an eternal universe? Because an eternal universe gives them an excuse that there is no God because there is no cause and effect relationship. But science has now proved that the universe does have a beginning known as the Big Bang. Despite the clear evidence that the universe has a Big Bang, there are some astrophysicists and scientists who are still pondering, could it really still be eternal? Because they cannot really grasp the fact of a supreme creator. Because then it will force them in a corner to admit that yes, there is an intelligent force beyond our understanding. So all that they are willing to say is that yes, the universe does have a beginning, but we do not know what it is. The cause is bigger than what we can ever understand or imagine. And this thing is much more powerful than the entire universe and much more intelligent than we can ever grasp. But they don't give a word God to it because they are too shy to use the word God. I don't know why scientists are so shy people. Very, very shy. They don't want to use the word God, like as if it is a sign of weakness. Yet there is a supreme intelligence which has created everything and is in control of everything. So the Quran makes it very, very clear that as one supreme creator created the heavens, and the way that He created it, there's no foundation. Whereas on the planet Earth, if you want to create anything on the planet Earth, you need a foundation. You need to dig into the ground, you need to pour concrete, you need to put steel. The higher the structure, the more deeper the foundation and the more steel you've got to put in. Everything has to stand on something. A skyscraper cannot stand in the sky. It's got to have a foundation to stand on the ground. Similarly, a house cannot float in the air. It's got to stand on a foundation. And that's why whenever you want to build your own house, you have got to dig a foundation, a trench in the ground. You got to pour your concrete. But before you start building, you need to call the building inspector who will come and examine the foundation. And he or she's got to give the approval that, okay, is this foundation strong enough to carry the weight of this house? Similarly, if you want to build a hospital or a hotel or a casino or a huge skyscraper, the tallest building in the world, you must have a skyscraper. It is impossible for a hotel to float in the air without a skyscraper. Everything has got to touch the ground. This is logic. It is common sense. Nothing can float in the air. I mean, when last did you see a hotel floating in the air? When last did you see a casino floating in the air? It does not happen. Everything needs a foundation. Otherwise, everything is going to fall down. But what the Quran is reminding us, now since you know that nothing can float on its own, how is it possible that the planet Earth is floating? Where is the foundation for the planet Earth? Have we ever thought about it? This huge mass of rock, all our millions and millions and millions and billions of houses and structures and hotels and everything that we've got with weight is actually floating. There's nothing holding, there's no pillars. So why is the planet Earth not falling down? Why are any of the planets, why are they not falling down? Why is the sun not falling down? Who or what is holding them up? We can say, no, it's gravity. Or, but who created gravity? Gravity doesn't just come by itself. Who decided that the planet Earth must spin on its axis at a speed of 1,600 kilometers per hour to give us our day and night? Yet it seems as if we are standing still. It doesn't seem like we are moving. And then in addition to spinning on its axis, it is tilting at a 23-degree angle to give us our summer and winter. In addition to wobbling like a top, it is also orbiting the sun at a speed of 100,000 kilometers per hour. It is spinning. Our planet Earth is shooting through the solar system at a speed of 100,000 kilometers per hour, yet we think we are standing still. Who has done this amazing thing? I mean, if you go on a Ferris ride, if you go at the amusement park, yes, like you're going to feel it when you're moving. But why is it that on the planet Earth you don't feel like you're moving? And in addition to that, our entire solar system, our sun, which is a typical star, our sun together with our planets, the Oort cloud, the Kuiper belt, the comets, the asteroids, the space debris, everything, alles is spinning around the Milky Way galaxy at a speed of 800,000 kilometers per hour. And at that speed, that amazing speed is like nearly 1,000,000 kilometers an hour. It takes 250,000 years just to go once around the Milky Way. That is known as one galactic year. So 1 year for our sun is equal to 250,000 Earth years. Yet it seems as if we are standing still, yet there are trillions and trillions and trillions of galaxies, comprising trillions and trillions and trillions of stars and solar systems, and quadrillions upon quadrillions upon quadrillions of planets and interplanetary debris, and comets and meteors and asteroids. Yet everything is spinning and spinning and spinning. Yet there are no motor car accidents, there's no traffic jams. You don't have to call the ambulance because of the latest crash between two planets. Everything has got its own orbit. Can you imagine? Trillion structures are spinning and everything has got its own unique orbit, and none of them have got any pillars. They're not standing on anything. Isn't that absolutely mind-boggling and amazing? It's like if you go to a circus and if you see the juggling artist, he's juggling not 3 balls, but 10, sometimes 20, and you say, wow, 20 at a time. Look, he's juggling 20 soccer balls. Oh, that's amazing. But here the universe is not 20. It's a trillion galaxies. Every galaxy got another trillion stars, and every star's got quadrillions of planets. So it is juggling trillion times a trillion times a trillion times a trillion soccer balls in the air. And none of them have got any pillars that you can see, because they are spinning so fast. So the question is, where does the energy come from? Who is giving the Duracell batteries for our planet Earth to spin like this? Where is the energy coming from? And why is there so much precision? Exactly, we've got 24-hour days. We don't have one day that's 10 hours and another day that's 40 hours. It's exactly 24 hours. We can set our watch according to the spinning of the Earth on its axis. And the planet Earth goes exactly 365 days for a year. We can set our calendar according to that. Who is in control of all of this precision? The scientists will say these are the laws of physics and the laws of mathematics, and as Isaac Newton has said this, and Albert Einstein and many other scientists have said about theory of relativity and our gravitational fields and all. But for heaven's sake, just say God. Why are you so shy to use the word a supreme creator? Do you think it is a sign of weakness? So please, as upliftment, sir, when you see the evidence that God exists or a supreme creator exists, instead of scoffing and mocking and walking around in arrogance, become humble and submit your intelligence to say there's someone more intelligent than me, a super intelligent creator, one creator only who has created everything. So let's start again. He created the heavens without any pillars that you can see. He set on the earth mountains. Where did the Mount Everest come from, or the Himalayas, or the Drakensberg, or the Table Mountain, or the Andes mountain range? It is the Supreme Creator who created that so that our earth, the crust of our earth, does not shake all the time. So he set on the earth mountains, standing firm, lest it should shake with you. And he scattered through it beasts of all kinds. Whenever you see the beast, any animal that you see, it is proof or evidence that God exists. When you see the trillions of galaxies, it is proof and evidence that God exists. When you see the mountains, they are proof and evidence that God exists. When you see the elephant and the lion and the giraffe and the wildebeest and the crocodile and the kangaroo, they are all evidence that God exists. We send down rain from the sky and produce on the earth every kind of noble creature in pairs. So whenever you see the rain is proof and evidence that God exists. When you see animals in pairs, a male and a female, that is evidence and proof that God exists. The evidence and proof of God is everywhere. Yet people want to deny the existence of God because they are too shy to use the word God. They think it's a sign of weakness. Whereas the opposite is true. When you admit and acknowledge and when you recognize that a supreme creator exists, that is in fact a sign of strength. Because now you have found the spiritual dimension. Otherwise your life is very empty. Your life is totally empty and shallow unless you know how to develop your soul and find that inner spirituality inside you. If not, you are living a worthless life, because then 99% of your existence is deluding you. You are only then focused on the 1%, which is the material world of matter. But the 99% transcendental spiritual reality, you have totally lost the plot. Stay well, look after yourself, alhamdulillah.